So here I am on my little mini break, and I'm in the hotel because it's Friday and it's early October, but it feels like it's February and there's a storm raging. It's been raging all day, and we have been out. We went for a lovely walk on the beach in the torrential rain and wind, because it's a bit freaky because it's like 17, 18 degrees. But anyway, I got really cold and damp and wet and tired, and so we came and checked into the hotel and had a little nap, and I'm all cozy and I really can't be asked to leave the hotel room. So my husband has gone out for provisions, because all I have is some Will Powder's protein powder, which I've already had a cup of, 7 kiwis and a natural Greek yogurt and some blueberries. I'm not quite sure that's going to cut it. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about was that what's happened today has just made me think of this, of it's Friday night and I really can't be bothered to go out because it's horrible out there. It really is. It's horrid. And even though I've got all my waterproofs, it's just not very nice. So, so my husband's trying to sort out something to watch on the telly, because we can't get Netflix, first world problems. But I've got my book, and I've got a couple of books actually. So I've got this, Balamaki, which is her second fiction. So I picked that up, and I've had that for ages, but I've been saving it for this. But then I've also got Francesca Amber's Manifest Like a Mother as well. So I always like to have a fiction book and sort of a wellness or a motivational personal development book as well. Anyway, so I've decided I'll just stay in the hotel and we'll have something like nice to eat. And anyway, I'm rambling, but the point of this video was to say that it took me back to that period of April 2023 when I was getting ready for breast cancer surgery, and actually that whole period of when I had the diagnosis, because just before the diagnosis, I can't remember if I put this in my video or not, but my dad had an aneurysm, and at the time he would have been 83, and my dad's like strong as an ox, always been sort of my role model of good health, and it was really serious. It was touch and go, and it was at that time when I had the call back from the first mammogram, so I didn't really take any notice of that because it was sort of like focusing on how dad was recovering, and he did recover, and a year later, so last year he had to have a checkup, and they found that the stent that they put in was leaking, so he had to have sort of major surgery all over again, and that's really traumatic for him and my mum. But anyway, aside from that, so if you think I'd had the mammogram, that happened to my dad in the February, then obviously there was an impact on my mum because she was desperately worried. I live sort of a 2.5 hour, 3 hour drive from them. And then I got the call back. So that was a sort of like quite a stressful period. And I didn't take any time off. I did not have a mini break. And if I could go back in time, or if I could give any advice to anybody going through a cancer diagnosis or any kind of health crisis or any personal challenging episode which warrants you to pause, that's exactly what I would recommend. And I wish I had. I wish I had paused. I literally just pressed pause on the video now to collect my thoughts, but that is exactly what I wish I'd done. I wished I'd pressed pause and gone away for just a few days, somewhere really quiet, relaxing, so that I could process what had happened to me and was happening to me and was about to happen to me. Maybe not think about it at all, maybe spiral, maybe scream, maybe cry, maybe journal. I don't know, because I didn't do it. But I wish I had taken a few days or a week or whatever I could have afforded to just allow myself to absorb, and then let my body and my mind guide me on how it wanted to process. And I didn't do that, and it's a huge regret. It really is. And that's what I do now. I don't really care what day it is. Like, it's Friday, you should be out enjoying yourself, you're on holiday. The weather's shocking. I feel a bit tired and sleepy, and what my body and brain need now is coziness and relaxation. So that's exactly what what I'm giving it. Obviously there are times when you can't do that because I've got, you know, you have to go to work or you have to do other things. But I'm just saying to myself and to anyone going through any sort of crisis, allow yourself to pause. And I wish that's what I'd done, and I didn't. I didn't have any time off apart from appointments and apart from one day when I actually had the surgery, which was a Friday, and it was a bank holiday weekend. So I had the surgery on the Friday, I had Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then I was back at work. Now, yes, I work from home, so it was a lot easier for me, and I have had a desk job at the time, I still do. But even so, I didn't have a rest, not a proper one, and I should have done. So yeah, I said in my previous videos I talk about the period in the run up to my surgery. If I could go back in time, that's what I would be talking about. How I went away, looked after myself a bit more, and I didn't. Do you know what else I did? I hadn't got on the real health kick of eating properly or eating proper nutritious food. Yes, I'd up leveled, I was eating organic, but I was still eating shite because I'm not a purist. I'm sort of 80-20, but I was still eating a few bad things and wasn't fully au fait with reading labels and ultra processed food. That was to come later. So even though I was going through that, I was still not nourishing myself as well as I should have done. So that's all for today. I've learned, and we're always learning. And yeah, that's all for now.